testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Atlanta Braves spring training is on from Florida, and this 2025 Brave squad is ready to get after it in Northport.
And he waylays this thing way downtown. Swung on a fly ball, deep left center field, heading towards the gap, and it's down for a base hit. Acuna hits the bag at third. Here he comes, Michael Harris, taking no prisoners. It's a sweep.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Conference USA is bringing its premier basketball event back to the Rocket City. Don't miss the 2025 Conference USA Basketball Championships, March 11th through the 15th at the VBC Probst Arena, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with CUSA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. Find out who's going to be putting on their dancing shoes. Tickets as low as $40. Visit Ticketmaster.com today to experience Conference USA hoops in the Rocket City, March 11th through 15th.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Hey, do you have heating and air issues as the springtime starts to roll around? Hey, there's just one name you need to know: Talent Heating and Air. #1 heating and air business right here in the Tennessee Valley.
Yeah, we're locally based. If you call, you're going to get somebody based in Huntsville. Mentioned in spring earlier, we can actually do indoor air quality products, so we can help alleviate those allergy problems you're having in your house.
All right, Thomas from Talent Heating and Air, give them the number that when they call, somebody live and local will pick up.
That's 256-503-4490.
And you can always head to the World Wide Web and find Talent Heating and Air, and you guys will still respond.
That's talenthvac.com. If you don't want to talk to a person right away, you can fill out a form on there and get scheduled for a visit.
That's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. It's Talent Heating and Air.
AL certain number 21014.
Sports Talk, 24/7, 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Well, in case you missed it this morning, it is this is not a replay from the morning show.
It is not.
We are inside the VBC. It is The Drive, but this is my third show of the day.
Yeah, you
triple header day.
Hey, was Tom's show here?
I was here.
Okay.
Yes, for the Tom Abraham show from noon to 2. Tom is fishing at the moment.
All right, there we
over at Pickwick.
There he is.
Getting paid to fish.
He is.
And we're getting paid to talk a little basketball here as the women have already started things off.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Houston, that was a back-and-forth deal against Jack State as Sam Houston won it 55-53.
Oh, wow, what a game.
And Sam Houston will now move on to take on Liberty. And then Kennesaw State, they downed UTEP earlier. Is this the final bot? Yeah, it is. The Owls, go Owls, 71-63. I was an Owl, at least for one semester back when it was Kennesaw State Community College.
Wow, how high have they moved up, man?
I'm telling you.
They were
Kennesaw State Community
College. And then
Yep.
First time I ever remember seeing Kennesaw State commercials is when they were a Division II baseball power.
That's right. We played them quite a bit at UAH.
Yeah.
Because Coach Engel, with that connection with Lenny Acuff, we would come over and you could tell right after they built their new arena that they were going to go D1.
Yeah,
there was no doubt. Same deal with West Georgia and what they did. So anyway, we're walking you up to tip-off of the men's game. It is day one of both the women and the men. UTEP and Sam Houston will tip it up, and the winner will take on Liberty tomorrow at 5:30. I've been looking for D-Rock all around. I imagine he is going to sneak inside the building at some point.
And we had him on last year.
We sure did.
Yeah.
Derek Johnston, for those that don't know the secret decoder ring right there.
He and Brody Peebles, who's now at Belmont.
How about that?
Because of the transfer portal. But he spent 3 years at Liberty, though. And Liberty won the regular season this year. It is the one seed in the Conference USA tournament on the men's side.
That's right.
So, Richie McKay's done a well of a job at Liberty.
So we're also walking you up to the Coastal Athletic Association men's final, and this might be another Cinderella team as 12 seed Delaware is in the championship game taking on 2 seed UNC Wilmington, and then later on tonight it is the WCC, the West Coast Conference championship game, and I think even a casual basketball fan would say, oh, you mean St. Mary's against Gonzaga? Yes, St. Mary's against Gonzaga. So that happens tonight. I believe that's in Las Vegas.
It is.
And that's a tough gig right there.
Well, Mark Few, to show you how good he's been, he's never not reached the conference tournament championship game. So he
never?
Yeah. So he's
every
year, Scott or Steve. I knew I would do that. I knew I'd do that. But
I thought you'd do that in the morning and not the evening.
This is my morning sometimes.
Oh, is it? Oh, so did you just woke up?
About
an
hour ago.
Okay, all right.
So, but yeah, Steve. That's what I was, and I thought so. Because I watched. I'm like everybody else. I watch these conference tournaments, and it's not always been St. Mary's in the finals, but pretty much Gonzaga has dominated that league.
Yeah.
And now they have not won it every year. I know. There's been a couple years, I think, where St. Mary's has actually won it. Gonzaga, didn't win the tournament, but I think in the remarkable
Mark Few's in his 26th season.
Yeah, so that's 26 straight years.
Holy cow!
That he's been to the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship.
Just look at this.
Right.
Mark Few
has
made the NCAA tournament every year except for COVID.
Yeah, because
COVID is the only thing that could stop Mark Few.
Yeah, and then the next tournament when there was still some COVID restrictions, we
Runner
all
up.
know what happened. They finished
Runner up
with their only loss of the year to Baylor.
Yep.
That team was undefeated. So he's been to 2 national championship games. I actually thought there was a chance he could win in that COVID restricted tournament.
Yeah.
But Baylor was really good too. I thought that was the 2 best teams in the country, and certainly Baylor and Scott Drew got it done, but they were both great. I mean,
I put him on a Brad Stevens type of level. At least I do.
But it's just I don't think Mark is ever going to leave until he retires.
26 years.
Right.
I mean, I hear from so many coaches that say you have this shelf life. Lenny Acuff was at UAH for 22.
Right.
Or no, wait a second. It was if you want to add in his assistant coach years, I think it was a total of 26.
Yeah.
At UAH. But, I mean, that is a long time to be at one place.
And then, he took over that would be a trivia question. Can someone call in and remember who he was an assistant for that left for Minnesota and all those years ago and left Mark Few Camelot? Do people remember who that was? Because
I don't.
He actually just got released from his gig last year, even though they did the Mike Woodson. And what I call the Mike Woodson is you're relieved of your duties, but your team goes to the NCAA tournament and wins their conference tournament. And he was let go, and I'll give another hint, at Long Beach State.
Oh, gosh. Gummit. I know who this is. I do. Let me pull it out of the briefcase.
Right.
Install as much as I can.
But no, he I'm
going to kick myself. Go ahead and tell me.
Dan Monson. Almost sounds like Moulton, but Dan Monson. He left for Minnesota. He ended up circling all the way back. He was at Long Beach State for a long time.
He was.
He got let go, and they had a mutual parting of the ways. And yet, in his last year, they won the conference tournament unexpectedly, and they finished in the NCAAs in his final season. But Mark Few was an assistant on Dan Monson's staff. They had just gone to the NCAA tournament. They gave the reins to Dan Monson after he left. They gave the reins to Mark Few, and we all know what happened.
It worked out pretty good.
I mean, it was basically like CM Newton giving it to Wimp Sanderson. If you want to accept it,
He's been at Gonzaga since 1989.
Told you. So there you go.
As a GA.
Yeah, he's never worked anywhere else.
Well, he was a high school assistant at Sheldon High School and at Cresswell High School. He's from Cresswell, Oregon.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's where he went to high school.
But ever since he left the high school coaching arena, he's been
only 62,
and he's been in Spokane for that long.
I thought he would have been closer to 70, honestly.
No, I that's about right. I would have guessed 63 or 64, but yeah, Dan, Mark Few, and he's had chances. UCLA multiple times.
Yep.
I think would have hired him. He's had some heavy hitters, come after him and make phone calls to see if he would consider going. I'm sure UW, Washington has tried, but he just has always stayed at Gonzaga. And now they're going to. I made a mistake this morning, and I double checked it. They are going to the new Pac-12. They are not going to the Big 12. They are going to the new look Pac-12, and that's probably a good move if they can get that on some sort of solid ground. Because I'll be honest, when you've made a conference tournament championship game 26 years in a row, it's probably not a bad idea with all this conference realignment in some form or fashion to move up, okay? Because Gonzaga's brand is big enough where, because a lot of people thought they might end up in the Big 12. But the Pac-12 was always I think the best fit, but then it disintegrated. But now it's trying to reinvent itself. And now Gonzaga can honestly be the brand in the league because UCLA and USC, how goofy is that? I had to keep reminding myself last night when the women's tournament was decided that UCLA beat USC in the Big Ten championship. Come on.
What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
It's like, oh, it's a new era. I'm like, new era. Oh, that's right. It's the Big Ten. Now the Big Ten's being taken over by 2 West Coast schools. I wonder how all the folks in the Midwest are taking that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they used to be rivals in the Rose Bowl, and now you've got them in your league. It's like, and I've already said this. I mean, if you're a softball coach or you're a baseball coach at USC or UCLA, what are you thinking? Like, who you're having to play? Like, it's 25 degrees, and we're in Piscataway, New Jersey, playing Rutgers. I mean, it's just
welcome
like,
to
who?
the Big Ten.
Yeah, like who? I mean,
this is a abbreviated edition of The Drive. I did so. Why? Because this is my third show of the day. Okay? I made a program director decision, Brian Temple, to say, you know what? 45 minutes is enough to get everybody ready and tucked in to come here down to the VBC. This is special here.
Whatever you decide up with you, fellas.
Yeah, it's Division I college basketball. And I mean, it's a group of 5 mid-major college basketball, but it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's high level. I came for 2 days last year. I watched it. I'm
excited to see Liberty tomorrow.
Yeah, I watched Liberty last year. Actually,
I didn't get that opportunity the last year because we were gone.
And Liberty got upset.
They did. They did.
Sam Houston, I believe, was the 1 seed, and as we said, the 3 seed, Western Kentucky won it, and so like we said, that it was a high level tournament. It is a 1 bid league now. In the past, and maybe 10 years ago, you might have had a chance to get a couple teams in, but it's just with all this conference realignment, and they lost a high profile school like UAB.
Yeah, they did.
Who moved up to the AAC. So
this is FIU, Jack State, Kennesaw State, Liberty, La Tech, Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State, Sam Houston, UTEP, and Western Kentucky.
Yeah, and Western Kentucky's it got that outstanding tradition, and to replace UAB, you get Jacksonville State. Now Ray Harper's team this year, it's a much different feel. They're one of the favorites in this tournament to potentially win it and move on. I believe didn't they win the regular season?
I believe that's
So Ray Harper had a really good year. They've got an NBA player very likely on their roster. So Ray Harper and Jacksonville State have had a really
they're
good
the
year.
2 seed in this tournament behind Liberty.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What I did say, my bad. I did say that Liberty and Richie McKay, who was coach of the year, won the regular season.
Liberty ended up at 13-5, Jack State at 12-6, along with Middle, who also ended up at 12-6. But the tiebreakers give Jack State the 2 seed over Middle Tennessee State. Middle did very well in this tournament last year, but they also traveled very well likewise. So,
and we all know you have a good friend who used to do very well in this tournament at Middle Tennessee.
Yes, we do. Giddy Potts
is
a name that lives in Middle Tennessee State lore.
I don't know. I guess I don't know about these search engines with Facebook, but all of a sudden Giddy Potts Facebook popped up, and I'm like,
I don't know if he would really be on Facebook, but
yeah, I just said Giddy Potts, and it was that giddy. I mean, I was like, how many Giddy Potts are there? So I was
probably
like,
not many.
And I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee State, all-time great. Just ask Tom Izzo. They certainly found out in a 15 versus a 2.
Yes, they did. So during the Tom Abraham program, I did have an opportunity to bring up, where is it? This is the last tournament projections from Joe Lenardi.
Right.
And he had, the reason I'm going there is he had Bama a 2 seed in the Midwest.
That's right. I saw that.
Taking on Wofford. But what I was looking for is Lipscomb. He has Lipscomb at a 13 seed taking on 4 seed Purdue.
Very
so not a 15. Not a 15.
No.
Not a 14.
No.
I know Lenny told me he was hoping for a 12.
The 5-12.
But right now, at least according to Joe Lenardi, Lipscomb a 13 seed to potentially take on 4 seed Purdue.
Yeah, I was thinking. I definitely didn't think that it was going to be a 15 or a 16 seed, of course.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of a 13 or a 14 for Lipscomb. 13 sounds right. I mean, because I think the Atlantic Sun's a really good league. That gives you a nice matchup with a 4 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, my dream would be for them to play Kentucky and beat Kentucky. That's what.
They've already played Kentucky.
Yeah.
And lost to Kentucky.
That's okay.
But I'm just telling you, it's.
Now, if John Calipari were still coaching, I'd be very confident. But for whatever reason, he's had a hex in March.
Well, wait a second. I played this morning. Where are you?
Yeah.
I don't care about the conference tournament, which is why we won it so many times.
Then I forgot about 3 else.
The tournament that matters is the NCAA tournament. Now, you play that tournament to get the best seed you can get.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get to the finals, win. Or don't go to the finals and lose because you're exhausted and you got to play on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Here we go.
So I'm let's play well.
Here we
go. Try to improve our seed.
Here we go.
But you and I both know the SEC champion is not going to play on Tuesday or Wednesday.
No.
Because it's not going to be that kind of Cinderella story, okay? I mean, I know the SEC is the deepest league in the country, Steve, but it's not going to happen. Like, I don't think you and I, or even your dog, I don't think a 10 or an 11 is going to win, okay? Or even an 8 or a 9. They're not going to win the SEC tournament. You know,
got old Chuck Wagon back there. Member of the coaching staff there at Huntsville High.
Okay.
And Coach Charlie Wilburn.
LSU.
And look who's right in front of us.
There he is. You've been asking for D-Rock.
D-Rock right there, baby. D-Rock. How you doing, brother?
We were talking about you.
How are you, sir?
We were just reminiscing. You came on the show with us last year. Good luck to you.
Can I throw a headset on you? All right, do I have to go through the proper channels?
Well,
you doing all right? Good. I am on the air
now.
We're
doing a 45-minute show.
You want to arm wrestle?
I can give up my headset for D-Rock.
I would love to talk to him if you're willing.
Absolutely, I'm willing. I've been talking to you for 15 minutes.
We also had 2 hours this morning.
Yeah, so
Coach.
I think D-Rock is getting locked into scouting.
Well, there is no doubt about that because this matchup in front of us.
Because we don't have long, I think, until about 13 minutes. And see, I've learned in the coaching profession.
When they get locked in
on game days,
let them go.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Well, that's why I was happy you noticed us.
Yeah,
first and foremost. But
I could tell that he was definitely glad to greet us, but he's also getting locked in. I can always tell when coaches get locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if we were going to get them, it'd be now before the game starts.
Well, look, they get locked. They get locked in because I've chatted up some coaches, especially in these one bid leagues.
Yeah.
Like scouting is so important. I mean, you talk to Lenny Acup about that. It's so important to be playing well, to be healthy, and your preparation. And a lot of times you don't get a lot of time in between games and in between opponents.
Yeah.
To be working on it. So your staff is always out here, and your assistant coaches are such a vital part. And D-Rock's done a great job, with Liberty and then Richie McKay since he's been there.
I tell you what, let's go ahead and take our first and only timeout here as we're live from the VBC. That's pretty cool to see Derek Johnston, former UAH player, former UAH assistant, and we'll be right back with more of The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's truck month. No payments for 90 days on 24 and 25 models of F-150, Ranger, Maverick, Super Duty, and Lightning. We've got over 220 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Great deals on Bronco, Bronco Sport, Expedition, and Explorer 2. Come check those out. But right now at Woody Anderson Ford, you can drive a 2024 F-150 XLT Hybrid for as little as $339 a month. $339 for an F-150. That's a 36-month lease with 6448 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends 3/31/25. Call us at 539-9441 for complete details. Over 220 F-150s and nearly 50 Rangers and Maverick pickups to choose from, all with great sales incentives and 0 payments for 90 days. Woody Anderson Ford, we hope to see you soon.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
I'm here with Vice President of Mortgage from Bank of Frank Ewing, John Kendall. And John, if you're hearing this commercial right now and you're thinking of getting a new house, boy, oh boy, do you guys have a deal.
We do. It's a grant. $25,000 if you're a veteran, $20,000 if you're not a veteran. This can be used for closing costs, down payments.
Very simple. All you have to do is give Bank of Frank Ewing a call at
256-507-9180.
And how long does this process take?
Oh, it'll take just a few minutes, maybe 15, 30 minutes on the phone. We'll send you a link and you fill that out in your own time. We'll approve you.
Who would not want $25,000 for a new house? John Kendall, give them the phone number and online address one more time.
256-507-9180 or at bankoffrankewing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing giving you $25,000 for a new house. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDIC insured bank as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
Triad Properties Corporation is a multidisciplined real estate investment and operating company offering acquisition, development, equity and debt financing, asset and property management, and more. Jim Kaplan is the principal broker for Triad Properties, and over his 25 years as a real estate broker, he's handled all facets of commercial real estate. Whatever your commercial real estate needs, Jim Kaplan and Triad can help. Call or text Jim Kaplan at 256-508-6666 or log on to triadproperties.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyandersonford.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
You know, he makes $350,000.
That's Trudy Armand. I'm Steve Moulton. We are inside the BBC here on what day is this, Tuesday?
I think so.
This is my 3rd show of the day.
Yeah,
it feels like Friday to me.
Look, I already feel like we've done a week. Okay.
And we've got a few more shows to do in the morning.
And we do. And hey, by the way,
and I'm flying out Thursday. I found out today.
Okay.
I've got an hour for you on Thursday morning.
Oh.
So I got a bolt at 8 o'clock.
Okay. So I'll either
Steve
be
finally
by
gets a spring
myself
break,
or
looks
with
like.
Joe Hunk.
Yeah. It's my spring break.
Yeah. I either may be by myself or with Joe Hunk. We'll decide on that, I guess. I don't know.
By the way, speaking of Joe Hunk, coming up at 6 o'clock is the Havoc Hour over at Sam Brewski's. And there is no weather event going on tonight, so there will be. We had that wind that rolled through
advisory,
and it locked up the Iceplex last week, so there was no Havoc Hour last week, but there is certainly a Havoc Hour here tonight. And the only way you can watch it is over on our YouTube channel. That's WZZN TV there to check out the Havoc Hour.
And don't worry about the weather, because I watch the 5 o'clock news, and the main weather lady's there, so it's good. Weather's going to be nice.
So we're all good. So she's probably out of town on Thursday or Saturday, rather.
Probably.
I'm hearing Saturday is a weather alert day.
Right.
Here in the area, so just stay weather aware. Both teams are pouring out onto the court. Sam Houston, as well as UTEP. They used to be Sam Houston State. Now they're just Sam Houston. There's no state involved. Got the Miners taking on the Bearcats here for the right to take on the Liberty Flames. That will be right here at 5:30 tomorrow. This time tomorrow, you're in Nashville.
Yeah. Well,
you excited for the SEC basketball tournament?
Well, I mean, I won't, I'm not going on Wednesday.
You're not?
I'm going on Friday. I'm going.
Oh, you're not. It's Bama or nothing.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna watch the.
Are you going to go to the Auburn game?
Yes, I'm going for the quarterfinal. I'm going for that whole day.
But you have a
Friday.
credential for the whole tournament.
Yes, I do.
Do you not?
Yes, but
this is why I'm going there.
Yeah, I'm not going back and forth. Gas is expensive. Even though it's only an hour and a half, I'm going to go on the best day, which is Friday, and then if Alabama wins and Auburn wins, then I'll be back on Saturday. And then very likely if Alabama's in the championship game, I'll be there on Sunday. I've done that before, gone 3 straight days.
Brad Crawford,
right,
from 247, put out his predictions.
Yeah, gotcha.
For the SEC men's basketball tournament. Where did I put it?
Right.
He had. Let's go through this pretty quick, if I can. In the first round tomorrow, this is Brad Crawford at 247. He has Arkansas beating South Carolina, Texas beating Vanderbilt, which I don't have that. Mississippi State downing LSU.
Right.
Georgia downing Oklahoma. So on to Thursday we go with Ole Miss and Arkansas. And he has Arkansas winning that one over Ole Miss.
Wow.
Texas A&M and Texas. He has Texas A&M, the Aggies, moving forward. Mizzou taking on Mississippi State. Now, Mississippi State, to me, is a up-and-down type of team. They could get on a heater, but Brad likes Mizzou. They are a deeper team, obviously. We got that full scouting report from Chris Lee earlier today on Talking Ball. Kentucky and Georgia. He has Kentucky moving on to play Alabama. So here's your the quarterfinals that's worthy for Drew being there on Friday. Auburn and Arkansas. Auburn a winner. Tennessee, Texas A&M, Tennessee a winner there. Florida and Mizzou. Florida the winner there. And Alabama, Kentucky, Alabama the winner there. So all top 4 seeds move on. And the semifinals has Auburn a winner over Tennessee. I'll give you some. Yeah, come on now.
The Miner.
Yeah, the Miner coming by, getting some dap. Florida and Alabama. He has Florida beating Alabama, much like they did a week ago Wednesday. And then the Sunday finals, he has Florida downing Auburn in the SEC championship game.
Well, that's basically my picks. That's who I picked. I picked on WNSP, Mobile Radio on Monday. They asked me who to pick, and I picked Florida. I mean, I said I think it'd be Florida and Auburn, and I said Auburn will have a 1 locked up. That'll lock up a 1 for the Gators, even if they just reach the finals, it should. But Florida, if they want it, of course, it locks it up. And I said Alabama's narrow path to a 1, in my opinion, is winning the tournament. And right before I came on this show tonight on X, someone was talking about that, and I just said, Alabama, in order to be a 1 seed, they've got to win 3 in a row, and I think then they make a very compelling case to be a number 1 if they win the SEC tournament. But I think that's the only. I think Tennessee, same situation. If Tennessee were to win 3 in a row,
well, they're the dark horse,
and win it, then I think Tennessee could be a 1. Now if Kentucky were to get hot and win 4 in 4 days, they wouldn't be a 1, but they would probably be. They could probably move all the way up to a 2, maybe a 3. Even though some already have them a 3, I disagree with that. I think they should be a 4, but I think they could move up to a 3 or possibly even a 2.
Peter Burns had this to say on the tournament. And here is what this is from SEC this morning.
When I look at Nashville, it's a great week. I enjoy going. The basketball is going to be off the charts. this year. It's going to be the biggest, best tournament we've ever had, maybe in the history of this conference. But I also traditionally look at it going, it's not the end of the world. In fact, I had even said, hey, with Auburn playing so well, it would not hurt my feelings if they end up playing, if they were one and done in Nashville. Okay. And just to stay healthy, get out there, go through the motions, but I think they're good enough to play. I on the opposite end of that now I do think that it's important for them just to taste that winning one more time for Bruce Pearl to kind of get into that rotation. Because I started thinking about it. All right, you play on Saturday. Now, because of the bracket, you're not going to have to play until what, Friday? Okay. Yep. So you got a 6-day rest. And then if you lose that game and you're not playing again, you've got another, probably 6-day rest. So you'd play one game in 12 days. So, and coming off the heels of a couple of losses. So to me, I do think, as odd as it is, I think they're still going to be the overall number one seed according to Joe Lunardi, but I think they do need to win a game in Nashville just to kind of to wipe away a bunch of stuff and figure out also what's going on with Chad Baker-Mazar.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting the flagrant 2, the elbow in the back of the head to Chris Youngblood, and gets thrown out of that game. I'm not saying he's Draymond Green, but I'm not saying he's not Draymond Green either.
Let me clear something up. He is not Draymond Green.
No, he's Chad Baker Rodman.
Yeah.
Who I already called that on another show today. So
that'd be the morning show.
Yeah.
I heard you say that this morning when we were both on Talking Ball.
That's
this
right.
morning. Much like we will be both on Talking Ball tomorrow morning. And then we will know who Liberty is taking on, because UTEP and Sam Houston are getting ready to tip it up here inside the VBC. This is an 8-9 matchup. By the way, it was the Jack State Sam Houston matchup right out of the gate. That thing was back and forth. Sam Houston found a way to win late, although Jack State had the ball with a chance to either tie or win it, and the ball did not go through that cylinder. So Bearcats and Miners getting ready to tip it up.
And that was a women's game.
Yeah, that was a women's game.
Yeah. This is men's we're about to see right here.
That's right. There is some tall dudes in front of us.
Well, you can always tell when you're watching D1 basketball.
You really can. Even when I went up to the Lipscomb Central Arkansas game,
right.
It was like, oh, wow. Yeah, okay. All right. and especially we were back here in late October.
Yeah.
For the Alabama-Memphis game.
Yeah.
It was like, okay. All right.
No, there were so many tall people. I was sitting behind the Alabama bench. That was a bad idea. I should have been on the other side with you guys.
Come on now.
Because I was sitting next to my great friend Brian Pasick, and Alabama has a lot of tall people.
Yes, they
do.
do.
I was having to watch it on our awesome jumbo big screen.
These big screens are fantastic, by the way.
And by the way, we know that was not really officiating with the regular rules. There was no foul outs.
That's right.
But that was an NCAA tournament game, it turned out.
Yes. And it was a little chillier because we had ice.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, no ice.
We already had a boom shakalaka.
Yep. There is no ice.
Back in the day.
There is no ice here right now. They will put the ice back in as soon as this basketball tournament is done, because the Havoc are not done with their home games. But that is, a significant difference when you walk into this gym, walk into this arena and enjoy these games, because someone is going dancing.
Yeah.
I'd like to hope it's Liberty, because we've got a little stake in it right there in front of us with Derek Johnston.
Well, I'd like to see Liberty play Jacksonville State in the finals, or Jack State.
Yep. That's the 1-2.
Yeah.
That's 1 and 2 right there.
Yeah.
For Conference USA.
My good friend Mike Paris, the play-by-play.
He was here earlier,
right?
And he came up to me and said, I really hope Huntsville's kinder to us today than they were last year. And now he's 0-1.
Well, they weren't in a good spot coming last year. They were not playing well. I don't think Mike was very confident when they were playing on the first day.
No. But hopefully the men's team will stick around for a few more days than the women's team did.
Yeah.
As they are one and done here inside the VBC. Although I did see them yesterday over at Baumhauer's Victory Grill making their way in, and it's hard to believe that was yesterday. Because this is my third show of the day, ladies and gentlemen. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. I did try to, because we had Anthony Dashner on earlier, I was trying to listen to the ear to the ground for news and notes from Kirby Smart today.
Right, first day of spring ball.
And wouldn't you know, the name Mike Bobo was brought up, to which Kirby was defending his offensive coordinator, who is back, by the way.
Well, I mean, this is his second run as OC, and he had to defend, Mike, your guy Mark Richt had to defend him as well.
Yeah.
It's polarizing. But, heck, I mean, how many of the last 5 or 6 OCs, except for Steve Sarkisian, and there was even people having to defend him being rehired for Nick Saban. Everybody, they always go after the coordinators. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just the way it is. And Nick Sheridan received a lot of criticism at Alabama that I don't think was completely his fault. So we'll see. But we've had 2 boom shakalakas so far.
Yeah, so far 2 dunks, both from UTEP.
Sam
Houston.
Well, I think they're just Sam Houston now. I think they may have dropped the state.
That's right. There is no more statehood for Sam Houston. It's just Sam Houston.
Yeah.
But it is a 4-0 start for Sam Houston over UTEP. And UTEP actually the higher seed. They are the 8th seed and trying to draw a little closer, unable to do so. But the offensive rebounds in particular, I don't think get talked nearly enough about, because so many times you get a really good shot off of an O board and the shooting percentage feels like it goes from 40% to 80%.
Right.
It's amazing how this game kind of wobbles that way. But it's 4-2 now. I would invite you to come on down here, because this is some great basketball. I realize there's some decent weather outside, but come on now. Someone's going dancing here, and they're going to get that rather large and heavy trophy.
And it's heavy.
We found that out in
both
particular.
the women's and the men's trophy.
I think I was told 45 to 50 pounds
50.
each.
50.
Is it 50?
I was told 50.
Okay.
You know.
Anyway.
But it felt like it.
So the games tomorrow in Nashville, we've kind of gone over a little bit, but I know it's a big one for Texas against Vanderbilt. I like Vanderbilt in that contest. Who do you like?
I mean, I like Vanderbilt in the game. I think they've been playing good ball. I know they lost, their last regular season game to Arkansas. That was a little frustrating, to Georgia, pardon me, out on the road. And then they also lost at home to Arkansas. They're on kind of a 2-game losing streak going in, but they should have a good, contingent of fans. I don't think the Texas fans are going to travel, because I think they want Rodney Terry gone anyway. And I know, and the one dangerous thing is Trey Johnson's coming off the worst game of his career. I think he went 0 for 14. He didn't make a shot. I don't think he only made a couple of free throws. And he had 7 or 8 assists or something. He played a pretty good floor game against Oklahoma, but he couldn't hit a shot. So he's a lottery talent. So you would think he's going to play better for Texas. But I still like Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt has got a better basketball team, a complete basketball team. And I like them. I like Arkansas because, South Carolina, I'll give Lamont Paris credit. They haven't given up.
Mm-hmm.
They've been competing. They played better the last 3 weeks. They didn't go over like some people were afraid, because they lost so many close games. They actually could have been on the bubble. They could have won 7 or 8 conference games if they could have just finished. They lost a lot of close games by 1, 2, 3 possessions, including against Auburn. In Columbia.
That's right.
When Jonai got hurt, and so they've continued to compete. And I know they whacked Arkansas, but I expect Arkansas. Look, We already heard from John Calipari earlier in the show. He understands they're playing to improve their seed.
Yeah.
And so, and if I'm Coach Cal, right now you're probably a 9 or a 10. And so you're trying to win a few games and maybe get up to that 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's probably Arkansas's ceiling. But you're trying to get into a better – you definitely want to stay out of the 8-9 game because then you get one of the 1 seeds, and that
that's a problem.
And that's going to be either Duke or Houston. And so if you're an SEC school right now. So if you're Coach Cal – now, are they talented enough to give a Duke a run? Of course. They have some NBA players. But they only have 7 they might have an 8th guy back by then. I don't know about Thero and his medical situation. I don't know. But you might have 8, but still you've only got 8. So, again, but I do like the matchup in the first round, though. I think Arkansas will win that game.
When we talked to Chris Lee earlier today, it made me take a harder look at Mizzou.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are deeper, because usually you really see the roster get crunched down to 6, maybe 7. But Missouri does play a lot of guys, and that might help them in this regard.
Well, it might help them, but I will say I think they're going to play Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State in their matchup.
Yeah, especially against LSU.
Yeah, LSU. To me, LSU by the end of the season is the worst team in the league. No disrespect to Matt McMahon, but they're just not very good. And I think they've pretty much thrown the flag up. There ain't going to be any string music, to quote the late, great Joe Dean Sr. So I think they're going to get beat. Because Mississippi State is solidly in, but they're trying to stay out of an 8-9 game.
They are.
And you talked about them being a very dangerous, because Josh Hubbard, he can score with anybody. There's no doubt about that for me. And Mississippi State, they've got an underrated club. I think they're a good team. They're not quite as good as a guy that used to coach in this tournament we're watching, Chris Jans at New Mexico State. This is not one of his better defensive teams, but it's probably his best offensive team. It's a very balanced squad, that I think I think and they play faster. Like with Tulu Smith the last 3 years, or if it was 15 or however many years eligibility he had, they were an old school kind of slow it down, try to get it inside type deal. And now they play at a much faster pace. And Mississippi State is capable of scoring 100. They have enough firepower to do that. And I think they're going to solidly beat LSU. And then your boys play against Oklahoma. I actually think that will be the best game, because OU and Jeremy Fears, they've got some really good guards at Oklahoma. Their inside game, not so much. They don't have much inside. I think this is where Asa Newell, who to me has a chance to be a lottery pick, Georgia's going to have to control the pace, get the ball inside to Asa Newell, and you got to have your we heard Anthony Dasher talking about that. You got to have your guy, the one that has kind of become a cult hero, Blue Kane. He's going to have to play well in the backcourt. I'm gonna go ahead and stick my neck out and take the Dogs. I think that they're gonna win a close one. And
they are so Jekyll and Hyde that I really. But I mean, Oklahoma's been just as inconsistent.
Right.
Just to me, that's a flip a coin game.
It is, and I'll just say this too: the more desperate team is going to be Oklahoma, because Georgia's been playing well. Oklahoma needs the game desperately, and I watched the game, Steve. I thought they played with desperation against Texas.
Yeah.
And because I think both teams did. Okay, the winner of this game is going to be in. The loser is going to have to maybe win 2 or even 3 games in Nashville. So Texas is the one right now with their backs against the wall more so than OU. But OU wants to go ahead and win this game. If they go ahead and win this game, I think get 20 wins. And I think being in the SEC this year, they can relax.
On the subject of desperation, Delaware is a team that won 5 conference games on the year. And they've got a chance to make the big dance here tonight. The Coastal Athletic Association's championship matchup features 12-seed Delaware, 2-seed UNC Wilmington. Delaware played last Friday, last Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, and they'll play again today.
That's why it's March Madness.
They beat Townsend, the 1 seed, yesterday, 82-72. UNC Wilmington is standing in their way. Can the 12 seed move on and dance their way in?
The hometown university of Michael Jordan.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
Our customers trust us not only to find the right hardware, but to advise them on the technology that makes them more efficient.
My Next Level team researches and discovers real solutions. Check-in software, HR, digital signature, and workflow software. It saves you money immediately. We hold your hand and stay with you through the transition.
We're taking our customers to the next level in business process automation.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Not a bad night across North Alabama, Southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures only dropping into the mid-40s. Plenty of sunshine. Once again, for your Wednesday afternoon, going to be another fantastic day. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s, considerably above where we should be this time of year. Dropping only into the mid-50s as we head into the overnight, early into your Thursday morning. But I also anticipate we're going to notice a sharp increase in the amount of cloud cover. Upper 60s and lower 70s for your Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WCZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We'd like to thank the fine folks at Westwood One for allowing us to stay on the air. We had some issues last night with championship week, and we'll do our best to hook things up the right way for the second day in a row. Boy, it makes me feel so good as a program director to leave town on Thursday.
Oh, Lord.
Knowing these issues are just popping up all over the place.
Yeah, that would be a little
Gotta
scary.
love me some Westwood 1 right now. Anyway, hopefully we'll get this cleared up, and we will have tip-off for you between UNC Wilmington and Delaware coming up at the top of the hour. And that'll hopefully roll into our coverage of the WCC, the St. Mary's Gonzaga Classic, for however many times in a row this has probably been.
Well, and last night, Joe Lenardi had them going into these finals. St. Mary's was a 6 seed, and
They only lost one game in the conference.
And the Zags were an 8. And the Zags have been used to being 1, 2s, and 3s.
That's right. Yeah.
But this year, and the Zags are solidly in, but a month and a half ago, they were even on the bubble, and maybe even on the wrong side of it. Because, as you said, this has been an unusual year. They've lost 4 games in the West Coast Conference.
Very unusual. 4 whole games.
Yeah. So they've their record is not what we're accustomed to it being, but I would still say if you're a 1 seed and you get to see Gonzaga in the round of 32,
probably make you a little nervous.
A little bit. I mean, because again, we know how much success Mark Few has had.
Is Timmy still out there? Tim May.
Oh,
Timmy.
Good grief. You mean
felt like he had like 10 years of eligibility?
Yeah.
There at Gonzaga.
Right. Okay. My bad. At first I thought you were talking about the toupee man, Tim Brando. Sorry.
No.
You know, I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. The real Tim Brando. This is not fake. He friend requested me, even though we've definitely not agreed on social media on many topics. But
all I know is the last time we had him on as a guest, Wes looked at me and said, "Let's not get him back."
No, let's never again. That's why you spell it E-A-U-X. Brando. He's the godfather of your boy T-Bone.
That's right.
Pretty much.
While I've got a second, as I mentioned, I am traveling with the UH Charger men's basketball team on Thursday, and we are playing on Saturday afternoon, 12:30 Central Time. The Chargers will be taking on Tampa. So as it stands right now, it does look like that game will be on Talk Radio WZZN. That's our HD.2 channel. So just plan accordingly. Although I'm hearing weather may become an issue.
Oh, wow.
For baseball and softball on Saturday. If the Charger zone is open right now, the Charger zone would feed baseball, softball would feed softball. At least that's how our app runs in that direction. So if you want to listen to UH Charger basketball, it'll be on Talk Radio WZZN. I will tweet out those links and make sure everybody knows the information as much as possible. But while I've got a minute, while it's on my mind, now Sunday's game, if the Chargers were to make it to Sunday, it'd be a 4 o'clock start time, and you would be able to hear it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And if we were fortunate enough to make it to Tuesday, there are so many people already circling next Tuesday, and I get it, I understand it, but there's 2 games to get to Tuesday, so there's that as well.
Yeah, and so
in fact, I see Coach Henschel, the assistant coach for the UH Chargers, just entered the building here at the BBC.
Well, and I can give a programming update for tomorrow's show. We will be hearing from Coach Alan Sharp and from Mick Hedgepeth as we will preview these 2 gargantuan NCAA regionals for the ladies. And Alan Sharp, his first year as head coach, and then of course Mick Hedgepeth as well. Both of them doing amazing jobs. And I know Mick was the coach of the year in the GSC on the men's side. I did not see it was Coach Sharp. He was not.
He was not the head.
Well, I named him head coach.
To me, he is. I mean, considering the turnaround,
I named him coach of the year.
Some guy up at Union.
Okay.
won.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to name Alan Sharp my coach of the year.
He-
I mean, when you take over a program that's not had a ton of success in the last decade or whatnot, and made one NCAA tournament appearance, and then I can remember also, I think the last time they won the GSC tournament was under Ray Hines, and that was
Roy
Hines. My bad, Roy Hines, Coach Roy Hines.
That was 2013.
And that was a Cinderella
And,
thing. They weren't favored to do so.
They were playing for their basketball lives and made the NCAA tournament, led
Roy
by
Hines.
Jasmine Hammond was on that team, and so was Jordan Smith.
Yeah,
and
so
Jordan was the MVP of that tournament.
And UAH won that, went to the NCAAs, and then they went to the NCAAs under Andrea Lemon. But this is their best season. Really, you could argue in school history.
Yeah, record-wise it is.
For what Alan Sharp did.
Wins,
So
yeah.
to me, should have been coach of the year because Union is a power. I mean, they're expected to be good every year in the GSC. I don't think anybody had UAH, going in the preseason, had UAH's ladies, finishing second in the GSC, really in the regular season, and then going to the championship game and losing by 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a major accomplishment.
And that thing that was a knockdown, drag out kind of, it felt very West Alabamian.
Yeah. Well, and then think about it. I mean, they had a big win, in the semifinals as well, over Lee. And I think Lee had beaten them twice.
So we are good to go to hand things over to the CAA championship game.
We
Is that what you're
are.
telling
We
me?
have. We've gotten the squirrel put back in the wheel, and we're ready to go. I tell you, we're living in a great day and age with our technology here. And
Who knew that a time change could mess up so many stations?
Right.
Out of one company that all they do is March Madness and the NFL. I mean, that's all they do.
Well, before we go, I can give us an update real quick. We've got a barn burner here.
Yep.
As Sam Houston leads, UTEP 18-16. I do wish that I had asked the miner who gave us a fist
Some
bump.
nuts.
Yeah, I should have asked him. Are you Hasky the miner?
Yeah, he's right down. Well, he's around here somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll find out that answer, and you know what? We'll give you that answer tomorrow morning at Talking Ball. All right?
Steve's got a few hours off.
Thank you for joining us with this bonus content of the drive this afternoon.
Of course, we're paying homage to Don Haskins today.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thanks for Steve. Thank you, Drew. Thanks to the Overtime West. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson